Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. I greet to all my lecturer and my friends. I am Nur Iqbal Syakir Muhammad Saleh and others two members. My first member is Nur Sabirina binti Nazli and the second member is Muhammad Safar bin Saharum. We from class CAAD 247/1A and the subject CPM 441 History and Development of Photography. In this video, I will presenting about Frederick Scott Acker. So without further ado, I will start with my first presentation is about who is Frederick Scott Acker. Frederick Scott Acker was an English photographer and sculptor who is best known for having invented the photographic collodion process, which proceed the modern galactic immersion. Okay, that's all for the first slide. So we continue to second slide is, did you know about Frederick Scott Acker? What is the first point is what is meant by a wet or wet plate process? A photographic process in common use in the mid-19th century, employing a glass photographic plate coated with anodized collodion and dipped in a silver nitride solution immediately before use. Okay, so the second point is, what does collodion mean? A viscous solution of provenance used especially as a coating for wands or for photographic films. The third point on what material is a wet collodion negative made. A wet collodion negative is produced through coating in clean glass plate with collodion. The plate is then made photosensitive dot immersion in a bath of silver nitride. The last point is, what is collodion used for? Collodion is widely used to glue electrodes to the head for electroencephalography. Non-flexible collodion is used in tropical makeup for various effects. When applied to the skin, it screens as the solvent, usually ether or alcohol, evaporates, causes wrinkles, and is used to simulate old age or scare. 1851, Frederick Scott Acker discovers the wet collodion process. Acker used tablets collotype process which produce paper negative but dissatisfied with the results. He soon began his own experiments to develop a more sensitive and finely detailed process. The second is, for his experiment, Acker used collodions, a newly discovered substance which was used as a medical dressing. A stickly of a gun in either collodions dried quickly to produce a top transparent waterproof film. So the third point is, the process is discovered was to coat a glass plate with collodions mixed with potassium iodide and then immerse the plate in a sensitizing solution of silver nitride, exposed in the camera while still wet. The plate was then developed and fixed immediately. Clips detailing negative were produced by exposure of only a few seconds. Next, the chemist. In 1851, Acker published his result in the journal The Chemist, where they gave full and detailed instructions of the process. Had Acker been motivated purely by personal gain, he could have patented his invention. His parents certainly encouraged him to do so. As it was, however, he gave his invention freely to the world. Okay, that's all for me for presenting So we'll continue to second members in my group. So Safan, you must continue to presenting about the access.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I'm going to present about Archer designed the folding chronologian camera. Archer was interested in camera design as well as photography chemistry. In April 1853, he demonstrated a camera made to his own design at a meeting of Photography Society. Archer camera where the whole process of a negative picture is complete within the box itself was also a portable darkroom. At the back of the camera were two black velvet seals through which the photographer could put his hands and to manipulate the glass plate, sensitizing, developing and fixing it. An amber window allowed the photographer to see what they were doing. Tray was tray and the bottle of a chemical were stored inside a camera. When folded for crying, the camera was very compact, measuring only about 12 in 80 in. Folding collodion camera based on Archer design were made and sold by Thomas Autowheel and Co. from 1854. Okay, collodion photography process. First step: immerse 80 grains of cotton wool in a mixture of one one each of nitric and sulfuric acid. Take out after 15 seconds and wash thoroughly in running water. Second, dissolve the peroxide so obtain in a mixture for equal part of sulfuric and absolute alcohol. The solution obtained is ordinary coordination. Third step: add some solute iodine, usually iodine of potassium, to the collodion. A little potassium bromide may also be added. Fourth, pour to iodine correction on a perfectly clean glass plate and allow 2 or 3 minutes for the film to set. The last step: take the coated plate into the dark room and immerse it in a bath of a silver nitrate, 30 grains to every ounce of water, for about a minute. A chemical change takes place by which silver iodine is formed in the process of the collodion. Okay, this advantage and disadvantage. The advantage being more sensitive to light. Second, because of a glass-based was used, the image were sharper than with a color type. The third, because the process was never painted, photography became far more widely used. The price of a paper print was about 10 of that of a daguerreotype. Disadvantage: the entire process from coating development had to be done before the plate dried. This gives the photographer uh, more than about 10 and 15 minutes to complete everything. The process is not easy to carry out. Frederick Scott Archer died tragically penniless. Another way beneath for Archer work and indeed a lucky few were to make their fortune. Archer himself, however, was not fortunate. His easygoing, generous nature combined with poor health prevents him from aggressively approaching the financial reward that were rightly his. In May 19 in, sorry, In May 1857, Archer died, practically penniless, and was buried in Kensal Green Cemetery, London. His family were awarded a government pension of £50 per annum in consideration of scientific discovery of their father and member of the Photography Society. Contribute 600 667 in recognition that he was the true architect of all those princely fortunes which are being equalled by the use of his idea and invention. Sadly, Archer's wife Fanny died a few months later, leaving three of Hans' children, of the only one Alice survived to adulthood. Okay, the last one, summary. Frederick Archer was an English photographer and sculptor who invented the photography coloration process. He published his results to journals chemistry where his gave full and detailed instruction of the process. Archer had designed his own take on folding coordination camera which were made and sold by Thomas Atwill and Co. from 1854. In 1857, Archer died critically penniless due to the reason that he died not painted his work and was buried in Castle College, London. So that's all for me and my group. Thank you very much, and yeah.